Welcome once again to the Church of Faith Worldwide Ministries, chapter by chapter Bible study. It is a blessing to have you with us as we continue our journey through the book of Exodus, and today we arrive at the 5th chapter. Now, up to this point, Moses has had his powerful encounter with God at the burning bush. He's received his commission, he's been given the signs, and he's returned to Egypt. He's gathered the elders of Israel, presented God's message, and they have believed. There's a sense of hope, a spark of anticipation in the air. The people have bowed their heads and worshipped, believing that God has finally heard their cries and is ready to act. So, in chapter 5, Moses and Aaron, filled with this divine mandate, go before the most powerful man on earth at that time, Pharaoh. They walk into the courts of power and deliver God's message, a simple yet earth-shattering demand. Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness. Think about the sheer audacity of this moment. Two men, representing a nation of slaves, standing before a king who was considered a god himself and telling him what to do. This isn't a polite request. It's a command from the King of Kings. But Pharaoh's response is exactly what you might expect from a man whose heart is filled with pride and arrogance. He asks, "Who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice and let Israel go?" I do not know the Lord, and moreover, I will not let Israel go. This is a pivotal moment. Pharaoh isn't just saying no to Moses. He is defiantly challenging the authority of God himself. He's setting himself up in direct opposition to the Almighty. In his mind, the gods of Egypt are the real powers. They are the ones represented by the massive temples and the wealth of his kingdom. This Lord that Moses and Aaron speak of is nothing to him. So not only does he reject their plea, but he decides to punish the Israelites for even daring to ask. Pharaoh accuses them of being idle, of wanting to shirk their duties. He says, the people of the land are now many, and you make them rest from their burdens. So he devises a cruel plan to increase their suffering. He commands his taskmasters to stop providing the straw needed to make bricks. From now on, the people must go and gather the straw themselves, but here's the catch. Their daily quota of bricks remains the same. This is an impossible task. It's designed to break their spirits, to crush any hope they had. Imagine the desperation. They now have to work harder, spend more time foraging for straw, and still produce the same amount of bricks. It's a calculated move by Pharaoh to show them, and to show Moses, who is really in control. The Israelite foremen, who were appointed from among their own people, are beaten when the quotas aren't met. They are caught between the ruthless Egyptian taskmasters and the suffering of their own brethren. In their anguish, they go to Pharaoh, themselves pleading for mercy, but Pharaoh is heartless. He mocks them, saying, "You are idle, you are idle. That is why you say, 'Let us go and sacrifice to the Lord.'" This is where the initial hope begins to crumble. The people's situation has gone from bad to worse. Instead of deliverance, Moses' intervention has brought on greater affliction. So when the Israelite foremen see Moses and Aaron, they don't greet them with thanks. They confront them with anger and despair. They say, "The Lord look on you and judge, because you have made us stink in the sight of Pharaoh and his servants, and have put a sword in their hand to kill us." Their words are a dagger to Moses' heart. The very people he was sent to save are now blaming him for their increased suffering. All that confidence, that divine assurance from the burning bush, seems to be evaporating in the face of this harsh reality. This leaves Moses in a state of crisis. He's done exactly what God told him to do, and the result has been catastrophic. So he turns back to the only one he can, God. He cries out in what is essentially a lament, a complaint. He asks, "O Lord, why have you done evil to this people? Why did you ever send me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to this people, and you have not delivered your people at all." And this is where chapter 5 leaves us, in a place of darkness, doubt, and desperation. The deliverer feels like a failure, and the people feel abandoned. It seems like Pharaoh has won. But this is a crucial part of God's plan. Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. God is setting the stage. He is allowing Pharaoh to harden his heart and display his full arrogance, so that when God does act, there will be no doubt about who is the one true God. This deep valley of despair is the necessary prelude to the mighty display of God's power that is about to be unleashed. Join us next time as we move into chapter 6, where we will see God's powerful response to Moses' cry and the unfolding of his magnificent plan of redemption. Thank you for studying with us. We'll see you then.